Welcome back to Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
English gets to the middle. This skip pass into the shadow realm. Now the Irish, Carolina likes to ride. Teams clear below 80% against the heels. Notre Dame gets across with ease. And a timeout by Kevin Corrigan. These were two of the top 10 offenses in the country coming into the game. It's been a defensive first half. Neither team has scored in the second quarter. Notre Dame has yet to score in the game.
Dave Petromala's defense. Kai Prohaska and crew all in the midst of the Notre Dame shooters. Look at the doubles and just how relentless they are inside with their bodies and timing the slides, and then you're doing it on one end and then you're dominating possessions. Notre Dame's not getting a shot on goal for an entire quarter, held scoreless. Brady Wambach is strangling possessions away from the Irish right now. There's Coach Dave Petromala. I think he's done a terrific job with this unit. Bunch of first-year starters,
And that
you
means
lose Tolman, who's a lockdown defender and was going to be the centerpiece of your defense. Now you bring in some young bucks like Chase Salucci, who have been incredible.
What's the last time Notre Dame was held scoreless in half?
I mean, pull up the archives.
It's been a minute. Pre-shot clock era, right?
It has to be. I mean, especially with these prolific offenses. You look at Notre Dame and coming in, they're averaging 14 goals a game, but they're so efficient offensively from an efficiency perspective, 9th in the country, right? So like they're hitting on all cylinders. They're 2nd in the nation in shooting percentage.
0 for 14 today.
Yeah, they're 2nd in the nation in shooting percentage. So you could say we're having a bad shooting day, or you could say North Carolina is playing impeccable defense and forcing the Irish into some really poor shooting spots.
No-name contingent, as they call it. Salucci, a freshman, has become their top cover guy. Ashheim was supposed to be the 4th defenseman going into the year. He earned a starting nod when Peter Tolman went down. Kai Prohaska, the junior from your neck of the woods in Ridgefield, Connecticut. None of these guys had started a game.
Yeah, Kai was playing LSM. He was rotating in, but just to show you the versatility, like Chase Salucci has had some big matchups, right? Like when they played Princeton, he defended Colter Mackesy. Today, it's Kai Prohaska on the quarterback in Kavanaugh, too, so there's versatility and flexibility within the three.
There is Faison on the invert. Pass by Barton, dumps it to Jeffrey. Angrick down the alley. Angrick, career high in goals this year with 10. Still,
Kavanaugh wants the ball here in the end line. He wants to end this madness.
Here is Chris Kavanaugh, 2nd all-time in goals at Notre Dame. That was Kavanaugh just trying to do it by himself. It will stay with the Irish. Plenty of time to shoot. 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Faison absorbing the check from Barton.
I like the way Barton defended him there.
And a turnover as he was looking for McClain.
If you chase Faison too deep, he'll just run by you. He's got the fastest feet out here, right? Barton sloughed in and made Faison play in tighter quarters.
We get a timeout from Joe Bresci. Notre Dame scoreless for the first 28 minutes of this opening half. And again, we just saw the selection committee's top 10 as of right now. Notre Dame is at 10. Top 8 seeds all host a first-round game. Next week doesn't help Notre Dame. That's a game against Penn. So if the Irish lose today. Now you might have to pick up a win, maybe two in the ACC tournament to get back onto the seed line.
There's their resume sitting in a good spot. They play a lot less games than everyone.
Yeah.
There's logic behind that, and Kevin Corrigan does it intentionally too. You know, traveling from South Bend and the rigors of taking the team on the road. They play the big dogs. Their schedule is brutal, so every game means something. 3-3 versus the RPI top 20. But you're starting to wonder, like, if Duke slides here, right, and Michigan, just say, for argument's sake, they lose to Ohio State and get bounced in the first round of the NCAA tournament, Notre Dame's resume all of a sudden, right, it starts to be in question.
Yeah, you look at Notre Dame's wins. They've got Cleveland State, Marquette, Georgetown. None of those help you. Georgetown has an RPI outside of the top 20. Forget the rankings. That doesn't matter when it comes to the selection committee. They beat Michigan. They beat Duke. And then Virginia, which as of now is an RPI top 20 win. But if Virginia continues to falter, they land outside the top 20. That win doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, if you're Notre Dame, you are a massive Michigan fan. Massive Michigan fan.
The last time Notre Dame was held scoreless in a half, it was the second half against Duke back on April 7th, 2018. That was an 8-2 game.
Sounds like a rock fight.
Rock fights have had more aesthetics than 8-2. Although, judging by some of the scores we saw last week.
Yeah, there were some doozies in there. Denver beat Georgetown 7-3.
Cornell right now beating Harvard 11-5. Harvard, one of the top 8, according to the committee. Cornell,
all right.
number 1.
How would a Harvard matchup traveling to South Bend in the first round be, right? Jerry
A lot of
Byrne.
people outside of Jerry Byrne and Kevin Corrigan would love to see that. We come up on the final 90 seconds of an opening half. Carolina's defense has put the shackles on Notre Dame. The Irish have pitched a second quarter shutout defensively. Dupuis has trouble. Ramsey, the bagpiper, with the takeaway.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter before we go into halftime.
They opened up that Virginia game last week with a Ramsey end-to-end play. I think you're going to have to show their athleticism from defense to offense and pick some spots here to push.
A timeout by Kevin Corrigan. Chris Kavanaugh wasn't happy. Judging by his reaction, it almost felt like he thought Notre Dame had UNC's defense not quite settled. They would have liked to play on there.
Well, to his point, to the same point of why I think maybe we need to see a push from defense to offense, beating the Carolina defense in settled situations has been difficult thus far, right? Like in the 6-on-6 settled spots, North Carolina's been owning Notre Dame. So Kavanaugh sees, okay, let's get into the early offense. I can go here. For the same token, if you see a Richard Deli save, you want to see those short stick D-middies flash out and get some transition. That's something that Richard Deli, I think, can grow on in terms of like comparing him, and it's not fair to compare him to Liam Entenmann, but Entenmann was so good at making the save and starting transition. As a young goalie, that's something that takes time.
And Notre Dame's got the D-middies to get you upfield quickly. The Irish entering play 19-4 against the ACC over the last 3+ seasons, but they've lost to Syracuse already, now trailing North Carolina. The Heels with a top 5 RPI. Best wins right now, Michigan and Duke. Their losses, Princeton and Army, 2 teams the committee had in their top 8 when we saw the reveal earlier today. UNC, if they're able to beat Notre Dame, that's another top 10 RPI win. You start to look then at Carolina. They're in that mix for a top 4 seed.
Absolutely.
And this is a Carolina team, Carp. Their younger players are starting to pop here down the stretch. They become dangerous in May, even though they don't have the experience.
House money. Let's be honest. Anyone who predicted this outside of this locker room would be lying. Like, I did not see Carolina in this type of position early in the season. Then they lose Peter Tillman, their lockdown defender. They have exceeded all expectations.
Meanwhile, the Irish try to get on the board. Kavanaugh
Scores! Scores! We are on the board.
in the final minute of the first half.
Give it to your best player and let him go. Uses the pick there. There's the...
Score! We are on the board.
They should switch or not. They did not switch. I think Prohaska thought that he was going to shift off and have another...
That's by Chris Kavanagh.
That there's some dysfunction amongst the communication, and he lets that fly. This is what I love about Chris Kavanagh. When you watch him on tape,
Chris Kavanagh.
no two goals really look the same. He can play all over.
Jersey
the
number
offensive
50.
set. When I say
Chris
he's
Kavanagh.
positionless, I mean from an offensive threat perspective, not a guy who plays midfield and plays attack and is all over the field. In that offensive set, he's positionless.
Well, remember as a kid, this kid played goalkeeper. He faced off, played as a two-way midfielder. So there is some truth to that.
Oh, this is something very interesting about Notre Dame.
Give Notre Dame the ball. Here's Kavanaugh again. We saw in the loss against Maryland with Notre Dame down late. Kavanaugh almost willed the Irish back by himself.
Tough as nails.
Here is Kavanaugh. Defended by Prohaska. Gets the pick from Ramsey. Final 15 seconds. Jeffrey from the wing. Dodges, turns.
Oh.
That one hit the pipe. Back up by Gianfrancaro. So UNC ball, 9 seconds left.
Shot clock turned off. And we're about to end the first half of the game.
Pass all the way down.
It's right there. It's right there away. No. And that will do it for the first half.
Only one goal.
We only scored one goal.
For Notre Dame, which came in 6th nationally in scoring offense. It's a season low in any half for the Irish. North Carolina, though, did not score in that second quarter. It's been a defensive rock fight here on Senior Day at Dorrance. Carolina 4, Notre Dame 1 at the break.
And we will see you all in the second half very soon on the other side.